Welcome back, everybody. It's another exciting episode of Grab Bag Email. Or Email Grab Bag. I can't remember which I say. Alright, anyway. Today's message is about porting and polishing. Is there a correct way? Okay, so we'll start with just a brief description of what porting and polishing actually is. What that is boring out your exhaust port. Hopefully you can see that. And also boring out, as in widening and grinding, your intake. The more air and fuel in, the more burnt fuel and air out, the more you fill up the cylinder, a little more horsepower you get. Now, race car people are usually the ones that do this because you have to pull all the tricks out of the bag to win the race sometimes, most of the time, all the time. So those folks do that because they're constantly working on their bikes. Now, if you are a stock bike rider, I don't suggest trying this at home. Everybody, there are like millions of videos out there of somebody with this thing chucked up in the vise and a drill and a Dremel tool, just having at it, boring it out as much as they can possibly get it, and then they smooth it. That's the polishing part, so the air and fuel smoothly go through the hole and don't have to get slowed down by jaggedness of porous metal or nicks and scrapes or grind marks. And there's also, I don't know if you can see in there, where the ports all go to in the cylinder. But if you are new to this and you're going to try it, I suggest having ordered you a couple of these, because it only takes one touch of the grinding tool to scar the cylinder, put a nice gouge in it, and then you can just throw this one away and start over, because your cylinder will be no good anymore. Won't make compression if the cylinder wall is gouged from the grinding stone or the cutting wheel or whatever you're doing. Okay, now having rambled about that, there is a correct way to do it. If you're going to do it, you'll have to spend a little money, because that's what you have to do jobs correctly. Usually is spend a little extra money by taking it to your local machine shop. If you have a race shop locally or a engine machine shop, usually they will port and polish that for you. A lot of them use a CNC machine, because if a drill and a grinding wheel worked really well and was exact on every hole, I'm sure the NHRA and NASCAR would love to know that trick, because they spend millions of dollars on head machines and laser equipment to measure, to make sure everything is exact 100%. When I say exact 100%, just hypothetically, if they wanted this hole to be an 8mm hole, they would set the computer to 8mm hole, and when this is measured, it will be an exact 8mm, because the machine makes sure of that. Same thing with the exhaust port on a head, or any head or cylinder. They will set the number to that, and it will be exact from top to bottom, the number and the size they want it. That is how you get the even flow of your engine. It's not real accurate if you take this hole to 6mm, and then oops, you ground a little more on this side, so this one's 7 or 8. It's not going to be a constant and even flow for the engine performance. That's just how that works. Alright, part 2. Hopefully that gave somebody some food for thought. Not insulting the people that are home trying to port and polish, get a little extra horsepower. I get it. I raced for years myself back in the day. Alright, anyway, high performance parts versus standard parts. Okay, that's a simple one. It doesn't seem to make common sense. It never did to me, but this is how it actually works. High performance parts only have half, if that, the lifetime of a standard part. They are designed specifically, generally, to go fast for a short period of time, and then you have to replace them. As where a standard part is designed to run for a long period of time, but not as fast as the high performance part. For instance, you could take a old school 350 Chevy, drive it every day, and put 200,000-300,000 miles on the engine if taken care of properly through that length of time. But you will never ever see a race car, a sprint car, a drag race car that the same engine has been raced for 300,000 miles and never taken apart. The game just does not work that way. The more expensive the part, the lighter the weight, the more speed it gives you, the less life it has. It's just how it works. It's always been that way, and it will probably always be that way. All right. Well, hopefully that answers. Oh, hang on. Got one more tidbit. Yep, I think I covered that one. Its question was basically the same question as that one. High performance parts versus stock parts. Yes, high performance engine will only last partially as long as a stock engine. So if you're a hobbyist and want to try out some new stuff and work on some horsepower, I wish you luck. If you're a person who rides their bike every day back and forth to work and needs durability and some confidence that it will fire up for you and not give you problems when you come out from your late shift at 2-3 in the morning and got to ride home, I would suggest leaving your engine stock the way it is and do your normal maintenance and get thousands of miles out of it instead of working on it all the time with your high performance ideas. All right. Well, I hope this episode cleared some questions up for some folks. That's my opinion on the matter. A little food for thought. Stay tuned for another episode of Grab Bag Email. I apologize for this one taking so long. Just been a busy summer. All right, everybody, ride safe out there. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it. Just trying to help people out with a little common sense way of doing things on your gas-powered bike. All right, everybody, have a good afternoon, evening, morning, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And my office will be in touch.